up, everybody? Welcome to the IAG Thursday thing. This thing that we desperately try to do every Thursday, but I'm not going to lie, last Thursday we failed miserably. That one is totally on me. I got to be real. We inserted a event that we were not really expecting to go to, and I had no plan. Wasn't sure what things were going to look like there when we got there, and it's just, I didn't even know what the hell I wanted to talk about. You know, we would have just talked about going to the event, and then the next event would have been talking about the event itself. I don't know. It felt like I was dragging a lot of stuff on, and I just didn't see it bringing much value. So I decided, nope, we're kicking it. Plus, the last podcast we had with Graham, the tuner terms, actually did really well, and a lot of people were listening to it. So I honestly, I think that needed to slow roast a little bit, and the people who needed to listen to it, and I think it was good. So either way, I'm joined this week. Thankfully, man, I haven't heard from this dude in a minute. Warranty's on. Warranty, what's up, buddy?
Hey, hi, hello. I'm doing good. It's good to be back as always. Work doesn't always allow, but happy to be here. My quick update for you is I played with the dampers a little bit more on the BRZ, and the car drives even better. So we're making progress. I've decided to ignore the previous and just enjoy it in the present. Car drives great. You need to drive it. It's so good.
I know you're kind of hyped because you keep talking about wanting to come down here around November, which is like mint time frame. Wish you could make it in the end of October. Then you could come down for Renfest. But
actually, I might be able to do that. I've got time after the 20th, before the 31st.
Let me get you the dates, because that might actually work out perfect, and you can come down. We'll chase Porsches around.
Yep, that would be lovely.
They get really sad.
I'm sorry. Sounds like a personal problem.
So good. All right. Producer Jordan, as always, does a lot of work in the background, but he can't make it today. But I don't know what we do without him. Sounds like he is starting to feel a little bit better. I know he was messing around with Dolly and installing some new goodies, so he's starting to get a little better. And then
that's good.
This week, our usual thumbnail designer guy is actually on with us. We've got Randy on with us. Randy, what's up, buddy?
Not much. How are you guys doing?
Randy, it's good to see you. Like, I don't think I've seen you in a while, and you're actually on the pod. So it's not just do the thumbnail and then leave. Now it's just like, he's the guy. So you're like the stand-in for EPJ.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was pretty hyped when Randy's like, well, I'll do it. And I'm like, yeah, well, Randy also went to Boxerfest last week. Honestly, before we get into it, let's just chat about that a little bit. That's your first like big Subaru event you've went to kind of at the same time as IAG. I know you weren't like technically there with them, but the car was like in the booth and you were just kind of like being a fan and doing that sort of stuff. How was that?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, especially meeting a lot of guys off rs25.com. I mean, people I've talked to for 10, 15 years, and get to know the faces to the usernames, and no, it was just a blast. And we did like a GC8 post meet that Daniel kind of coordinated with Bucky Lassick, and got to do that. It was a ton of fun. May have given some rides to some people at the post meet too, which is really cool.
Sick.
Get them the de-stroker life.
Yes.
I gotta be real.
Excellent.
One of my favorite parts of that event was that post meet, and usually I was destroyed because we would come down right after Lime Rock because it was almost always the same weekend with like no sleep, but we'd have Boogie there, and we'd drive Boogie over to that post meet. You know, we're hanging out with Bucky and all the rest of the GC guys, and it was a ton of fun. Like, honestly, I really liked the GC post meet. It was like my favorite part of that whole thing. But it was always like we were in this mad rush to get to dinner, so I didn't get to stay very long. And I don't know. Like, it was like surely one of my favorite parts of it was that. And it's cool to be able to walk around and put, names to faces, or actually meet some of the personalities within the Subaru community that you don't normally get to see. I had last time I was there, I had an extremely long, great conversation with Miles from RCE, Race Comp Engineering. It was fantastic.
Nice.
Like, I've talked to him a million times, but I never met him in person.
I was
And
hoping to meet him, but he wasn't there this year.
it's
Um,
super cool though. I mean, that's you meet some
yeah,
of these people. There's people there from Vermont Sports Car and all of that. And like, if you've been around long enough, a bunch of these people, and then you get to chat with them. The guys from Cobb are usually there. There's lots of cool stuff going on. Yep, those are
I know
fun meets.
there's just certain appearance mods that you look and see on the internet, but then you see them in person, you kind of get a better idea of the aesthetics of them on the car.
Yep.
I know it sounds, especially with the
Yeah.
GC8 with the mirrors and like the lips and stuff. So in Cincinnati, we don't have. I mean, I don't know of anyone else that has a GC8 pretty much. So it was just really awesome to see like 30 or 40 of them all in a together. It was really cool to see them with all the different mirrors and lips and mods. So yeah, it was great.
It changes shit, dude. Like I said, that GC post meet, so good. So good. How did your car do as far as showing at the event? Were people pretty hyped about it?
Yeah, we had a lot of questions about the Destroker,
Mhm.
and then with what it's set up for. Luckily, I towed it there, so I didn't drive it there, but I did have a snafu where I blew a tire about an hour out, right before one of the tunnels, actually. So I got really lucky on that.
Oh,
U-Haul actually came out and replaced the tire for me, which was great. But yeah, I mean, everyone loved the car. It was the first time I've actually been able to show it at a Subaru meet too, because any of the local car meets around here,
they don't
nobody
get
knows
it.
what they're looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was just really cool to see that, and also seeing like all the different swaps in the GC8s there too. I mean,
Yep.
it's just really cool.
H6s, basic WRX swaps, your crazy ass thing. Yeah, it's all over the place. Was Bucket there? Did Bucky have
No,
his GC? No.
uh,
He had it a couple years back. He had it there. That was pretty cool to check his out. Um, all right, so yeah, Boxerfest. What a thing. I might be going to SubiFest Midwest. We'll see. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna try to make it. That means Warranty and I are gonna have to get together, and I think we're gonna have a Ask Us Anything table or something.
Yeah, I'll try to make it. It's an all-day affair, and my actuarial exam is coming up, so I'd love
It's
to
on a
not make it.
Saturday though, which is awesome.
I know, but
Which is great because then it's not Sunday.
wait, oh, it's on Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Think about it. I haven't seen you in a
Let's
minute.
make
So.
it happen. We'll have a good time. I mean, I was pretty
Yeah.
bummed. So let's just get into this. So, because I'm going to tell you why I was bummed, so people understand why I was bummed. Either way, we're getting near the end of the season. The way the points were shaken out, we had a pretty solid lead in the points, but we had 3 wins with 3 records and then a second place with a record. Okay. So there was still this opening for somebody to sneak in and win the championship still. So after discussion with JJ and Dylan and the powers that be, and we all brainstormed on this, we decided the right play, while if we had the resources and we could pull it off, let's go to Autobahn. Now, anybody who knows anything about me and has been following me for a while knows that I have not been to Autobahn since 2020. Because last time I was there, I was literally screamed at by the track officials because I was parked too close to a line. Okay, it was I don't even remember the last time I'd been talked to like that, but I guarantee it was in the Marine Corps. It was ridiculous. It was everything I could do to control myself to not knock this guy out. And I am not a violent person. And I was pissed, ain't even the word for it. I wasn't the only one who was treated like that. Multiple others were treated like that. People who could afford to be members and decided after that weekend, I'm not going to be a member here, were treated pretty shitty. So long story short, I decided I'm never coming to this damn event again. F these people, I'm done. So I decided to not go back to Autobahn. And I'd been saying that for years that I hate that track. And the thing is, it isn't like I dislike the track. The track's decent, okay? The facility's decent. It's just it's in the middle of a toilet, okay? Like an industrial wasteland surrounded by nothing but smokestacks and semis and terrible roads. It like the facility itself is pretty nice, but they try to act like they're in fucking Shangri-La, and they absolutely are the furthest thing from it. The track is okay. It's nothing special, okay? I'm fairly quick at it because I've had so many laps there, but it's not like it's nothing to really write home about. Now, the track being average and you would think that, okay, maybe this place is going to be a little cheaper. No, it's freakishly expensive. In fact, the members, it's all rich people who fly their helicopters in, hop in their Lamborghinis, and go do 5 or 6 laps. That's what this place is made up of, and that is who they're catering to. So when you're there in your shitbox 95 Impreza L, that's 4 different colors, you do not rate with these humans. You're not even allowed to breathe the same air as them. Okay, God forbid you park anywhere near where a member might walk through, or they will lose their fucking shit on you. So, like this place just reeks of arrogance. Okay, and it has bugged the shit out of me. It's just not the vibe I like. But so either way, like the downsides to this were not outweighed by the track being amazing. Okay. This place thinks it's Barber and it's not. But anyway, I went and we decided I know I can turn a quick lap there. Boogie's going to be quick there and we need to do it for the championship. So I decided, screw it, we're going to go. Now, I'm going to just say this up front. I actually had a great weekend. Okay. There was only one grumpy person I ran into, and that was the girl at the front, and which honestly put me into kind of a funk going in there, because I'm like, well, Autobahn's gonna Autobahn. And so I started on the back foot. Okay. Already started pissed off, and it ended up we had a great time. Okay. We ended up going to the kart track that first night. Everybody there was fantastic and super nice. We had a riot. Dylan and I were being belligerent little shits. Ran some pretty quick times, had a good time. The rest of the track staff was honestly great. Easy to get along with, good people. Talked to a bunch of them. They were all like new faces for the most part. One of the guys that I kind of had a personal issue with is still there, kind of gave me an ugly look and drove off. So I think he still knows who I am. I'm assuming that he has heard my thoughts upon this place throughout other social media things, and he isn't happy about it. But overall, it was great. And I really like, this was my best experience at Autobahn I've ever had as far as an event by a long shot. Okay. And that is to include Subaru Speed Expo and anything else that we've had there. It was really, really good. Like, they were super friendly. It was just really nice. It ran smooth. The safety workers were really quick and on the spot. They were super careful with the car in any way they could be. Thankfully we didn't have to deal with that, but some others did. Like, honestly, it was overall a good experience. So, I have now officially lifted my boycott of Autobahn. I am now no longer personally boycotting Autobahn.
I was going to ask if you would go back there for like a Subaru event or another Gridlife event. You would now.
I absolutely would at this point. I think enough has changed out.
That's good.
Wow. I'm not going to lie. The kart track gave it bonus points. We had such a good time at the kart track, and the people running the kart track, they are so nice. So, like, we had a really good time at the kart track. The people they have running the kart track elevate the rest of that place, in my opinion. So we made the decision to go to Autobahn. I wasn't planning on doing this. So we had a bunch of things that we wanted to sort out real quick. First things first, we have a new wheel sponsor. I'm very excited about this. Koenig came on board, and we have a set of their countergram wheels. Now, yeah, I'm gonna be pretty straightforward about this. When Dylan first saw them, he was like, I showed them to him online. He's like, I don't know, man, I ain't really feeling it. I'm like, I think these are gonna work, dude. And it took until we got one sent to us to see if it even fit, because it is a 5 mil lower offset than we're used to running. And when he pulled them out of the box, and instead of them being silver, they were actually like chrome, he was all for it. Absolutely all for it. If somebody can do me a favor, there's plenty of pics on my website or on my Facebook page or whatever. Yeah, there you go. Throw some pics up. But they look so good in person. The chrome works perfect. And
Nice.
the offset in the rear, we were already running kind of a rowdy spacer. It allowed us to just get rid of the spacer. The front is a little bit closer, but not too bad. But oh my God, do they look good. They look so good. They kind of have that like RPF1 vibe where they make it look an inch smaller than it actually is. And one of the problems I've always had with Boogie is for Boogie to be fast, it kind of has to be on an 18, but an 18 looks weird on a GC in my opinion. So this kind of looks like a 17, but it's an 18. And it gives it that vibe. And it's got this really gnarly lip. Like, it's a little bit fuckboy, but I kind of like it. I love it. So it's an 18 by 10.5 plus 20. And it weighs basically the exact same as our old NTO3s. And is 4 pounds a corner lighter than our 5-spoke wheels that we ran.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of gives me like 80s NASCAR Cup vibes.
Mm-hmm.
From when they ran chrome wheels.
I can kind of vibe that. Yeah. No, I love it. I think it looks great. They hooked us up with 2 sets. I think we've both done really great work already, because I didn't even know this wheel existed. This is the wheel they wanted us to run specifically because they needed somebody to run the wheel. And I think it's
a sharp looking
doing
wheel.
work. So
Yeah, I want to say these are my favorites you've put on the car.
It is my favorite this car has ever looked. And that's saying something, because I really love those NTO3s. I was really worried we were never going to find something that was going to make that, going to work better than that wheel did on here. And I think this works better.
Yep. Yeah, I like this.
Looks good. So
Good
either way,
pickup.
we got the alignment done. Because we have a little more offset, we actually have much more room for negative camber in the front if we ever wanted it. If we wanted to do like 5.5 degrees in the front now, we could.
DTM style. Just give me all of it.
I mean, we could.
Blow over some curbs.
Yep. Fuck it. In getting rid of the spacer was cool. That was a nice bonus, because I'm not a huge fan of running spacers. It allows us a little more thread engagement. It's good stuff. We were only running, it wasn't a crazy big spacer anyway, but just spacers in general. If I don't have to run them, I'd prefer not to. So
Question in the chat.
Sure.
From Josh Aldrich. Are they considered wraps?
No.
No.
You find me another wheel that looks like that. A wrap would be like, if you go look at like a Rota Slipstream, looks like either a spoon wheel or a what is that wheel that old boy's running on his yellow STI? Chris's the front end Romar. This is gonna drive me up the wall. The 5-spoke one that that's crazy expensive and hard to get a hold of. Either way, like Rota Slipstreams are a knockoff of that wheel. Okay. They have a T37 knockoff, there's Regamasters. Yeah. So either way, that's a knockoff or a rep or something like that. These aren't a rep. They're not a replica of something else. They're not trying to look like or emulate something else. It's its own design. Like, if you go find me something else that looks like a Conan countergram or countergram, I don't think you're gonna find anything.
So, having the same number of spokes doesn't count.
Yeah, same number. It's its own vibe. They're proud enough to put their name on the outside of it. In the the rim itself. So yeah, this is not a rep.
I think the question comes from like my mom had Koenig wheels for her Sonata for the winter. Like they were heavy as shit, but they looked great.
They have a
Black
few
on
different
black.
lines, Enki does too,
Yeah.
though. Enki's got some dirt ass cheap wheels. They're like street wheels, and Enki's got some higher end wheels. Ray's has, Graham Lights kind of fall into their cheaper set of wheels. Then you have, like Volk is a little more high end, and they're all over the place. But that all comes from Ray's.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
either
So
way,
I'm stoked for you. And easiest sponsorship delivery of the year. You just give me the wheels. I'll go win you a championship immediately.
kinda. It really wasn't too hard. It's like it was pretty quick. I got to be real. I got to thank Rob Wilkinson a little bit for this because the NTO3s had a crack in them. Okay, and now we welded the crack, but it's not something I like running on. I don't recommend anybody doing that. Okay, these wheels were done. They owed me nothing. It's many years of bouncing over curbing, and I beat the shit out of them. But contrary to popular belief, wheels, at least track wheels, do have a lifespan, and we were well past it on these. Okay,
Those are big dog problems that people don't talk about enough.
it is the absolute truth. We're well past it. So we really needed a wheel sponsor. We wanted to work with somebody who really wanted to work with us. We didn't want to feel like we're just looking for handouts. We wanted something that, we could have a really good relationship with. Koenig's done a lot of stuff with a lot of other a lot of other programs in Gridlife. And I think one of the reasons I never hit them up is I'm like, I don't know if I can offer them anything better. But hitting them up, I came to the realization that like we're actually offering them something pretty awesome. Like we have a drastically different vehicle than most of the people. A lot of what they're working with is Hondas. Nothing wrong with Hondas. Not trying to say anything. It's just they don't really have good Subaru representation, and we're about to win a championship. So I mean, you want in or what? So that worked out really well. Yep. And they're great to work with. Rob is constantly getting pictures for him, so Rob always feeds them with great photos. Like everybody wins. So it was really just a win all the way around, and we're super stoked to have them. So
I need to buy a Rob Wilkinson print, big, stick it on the wall, boogeyman. I've been putting that off far too long.
Some good shit coming. I'm excited to see the rest of what he sent me. And then I got to be real, one of the best photogenic tracks on our calendar is Pit Race. So hopefully we get some just absolute bangers from that. Lots of like rolly hills and the colors are changing and it just really works out.
Remind me again, why are you going to Pit Race?
Because it's fucking fun. There's absolutely no reason not to go. Like there was a scenario.
Just Gridlife, or is it part of Gridlife?
It's Gridlife.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is just the victory lap.
We're going there to have a good time. I'll explain all of that in a minute. Okay. Continuing on. So we had to get a bunch of shit. We need a new set of tires. We're like 15 sessions in on these RE71 RSs that we had on for Lime Rock. They are spent. So I hit up my boy Paul at Tire Rack, which those in the Subaru community know his name is not Paul, but Tire Rack gave him a name. So we hit up our boy Paul, quote unquote. And Paul recommended, and this is something he'd been trying to have me do for a while. He's like, look, like RE71 RSs are the hot boy thing. Get them shaved. And I was like, really? And he's like, I'm telling you, man. And then we talked about it for a while, and he's like, that like vague squirmy feeling that you feel when you put a brand new set of tires on, like you've got tons of grip, but they feel a little squirmy. And I'm like, yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. Because you got to think of this. We have to look at tires in more of a heat cycle than we have to look at them as far as tread depth. We aren't running them long enough for us to run out of tread. We're heat cycling them out. So he's like, you should get them shaved, and it's going to get rid of that squirmy feeling, and they're going to feel insane. And so we got them shaved, and man, they showed up, and I'm going to tell you right now, I love Dylan, but he wasn't on board. He's like, bro, these are as low or lower than our frickin' 15 session tires that we already got on. So he was a little skeptical of the whole thing. But I'm gonna let you know right now what Paul said really 100% works.
Edit that part out, Jordan.
Call and ask for Paul. Either way, really worked. So we got new set of tires, got those bad boys mounted up. Unfortunately, we got those mounted up, did the alignment while on those tires, and then the next day we were going to pull our old tires, so we had something to like practice on and run, some just kind of get our shit together laps. We were going to pull those off, put them on the other set of wheels, and the tire machine broke. So, little drama. We had to I didn't want to go out there on the wrong set of wheels. So, and I didn't want to use our brand new stickies for like practice laps. So that's unfortunately we ran into a bit of a dilemma there. But other than that, we put on some brand new ball joints because I had extended ball joints on there, but I also had drop knuckles. And what was happening was it was lowering it so much that we actually had to chop the bolt on the bottom to make sure it didn't make contact with the wheel. And that was kind of sketchy. So we put normal size ball joints back in, which is what we needed to have in the first place. We just used some normal ball joints, got them from AutoZone, no big deal. Don't need anything crazy for that sort of thing. So threw some ball joints in there, and we also got this giant ass pirate flag and pole. I don't know if you guys saw that on the live cast, but it was effing huge. And we got, oh my God, mirrors for the RV. So now we can see things. This is the greatest thing ever. So the trip was great. Honestly, it just kind of went. Got out there pretty early. So early that we managed to set up and have plenty of time to go run some go-karts and get really belligerent. And it was a good time. I still have a bruise on my ribs. So
Of course.
day one. Now here's where all this starts. The record is the overall record is a 125.8. Okay. 816. That was ran by Kyle McHugh last year in a Supra. But all we needed was the all-wheel drive record, which was a 127.8. Ran way back in 2020 by Sean Kresbach, who he's still a complete monster. If he were to show up at any point, I would be terrified. All right, Sean is a beast. But either way, we were 127.8 is what we had to beat to make sure we got the record, and then we had to win the event. We go out for the first session on the old tires. Oh, we need to get tires put on. Team Stradale hooked it up. So they got tires done for us. Yep, really good dudes. I don't know what I'd do without them. Patrick Morgan, you remember him, right? The dude with that great voice.
Yes.
Still works at Team Stradale.
Yep.
He saw me when I walk in. He's like, oh yeah, dude, I'll take care of it. So I threw him a little cash under the table and he helped us out. So he swapped the tires over. So
not the first time.
Crisis
That's
is
not the first time Team Stradale's bailed you out.
That's true. Good dudes. And it's usually Patrick.
Yep.
So Patrick is just good people. So we went on a first session and the goal was to try to go get this all-wheel drive record first session. Managed to pull that off with some fairly ugly driving and me remembering where the hell I'm going. Ran a 126.6. So like on really old tires, these are, I think that was its 16th session on these tires. And yeah, the car was sliding around all over the place and not braking where it should. And I had a really good time. Car was, either way, car did what it was supposed to do. We come in, Dylan's like, all right, get the thing in the air. We're poking around at it. And Dylan's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, what? And he's like, dude, you melted both of these brand new ball joints already. Melted them.
Oh, Oh no.
So the old ball joints they were white line, and they have like a silicone boot. Okay. These are cheaper ball joints and they were just rubber. And like the heat I was putting into the brakes immediately just melted the bastards out.
That's a problem.
Yeah. So we're like, well, that's a thing. Good thing we got all weekend. We're not in a hurry and we already got the record. So I ran out into town to go get some ball joints. Stole, I don't remember whose car he stole. Swank's car. Oh, yeah, that was his Acura TSX with the 6-speed. That was actually kind of nice to drive around in. Older TSX. That was fun. So I went and got some just basic bitch ball joints because it's all I could find. Okay, but we wrapped them in the DEI like heat stuff. That we use for like our dry sump hoses and everything else.
The foil?
No, not the foil. It's like that rubber with the fiberglass on the inside.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that sleeving. That stuff is really good. So we just took the thickest sleeving we had and wrapped it around them and then installed the ball joints. And other than fighting some stupid shit with getting with an STI control arm, there's these little I've heard them referred to as bosses, but essentially it's the ball joint inserts into that, and then that goes into, it's like this tapered piece that goes into the aluminum control arm. And they're a real pain to get off if you don't have the right thing with you, and we obviously didn't have the right thing with us. So we're running around borrowing tools. What we learned is we need a vise in our trailer. Okay. And we need to put together we need to get a puller specifically for pulling this thing apart. Thankfully, Andy Smedegard hooked it up. What a boss. Had a puller that worked, and then we found a vise, and then it was a bunch of like twisting and hammering and holding and all sorts of stupid shit, and 2 people holding on to the thing for it to finally pop out. We got it together, put the new ones in, went out for the 3rd session. Everything was good. Ran a little bit quicker. So our first session, we ran a 26.6, went out for the 3rd session. It was a little hotter, but I drove a whole lot better, ran a 26.4. So we were pretty stoked. All right. We were already going pretty fast. Already got the all-wheel drive record. It was bugging the shit out of me that we weren't getting the overall record though. But a 26.4, we're less than a second off, and we still got stickers ready to go. Right. So we're feeling pretty good about this. We go out the next morning. The idea is we're going to go out. We're going to run a lap. We're going to see how we're feeling. Okay. And we may just come in and call it a day. We go out, we run a lap, and then I come back in, but we didn't quite get the time we were looking for. And Jamie Santos has been doing this weird thing where he goes out late in the session to try to like find clean. It's a weird strategy that I don't 100% agree with, but like if it's working for him, it works for him. So we're waiting, and Dylan's like, well, do you want to go take another swing at it? I'm like, might as well if we ain't going to drive anymore today, because our plan was to not drive the damn car the rest of the day. He's like, all right, I'm down with it. If you're down with it, let's go take another stab at it. So Jamie goes out, and they send me out right after Jamie. So I'm running this lap, and it's kind of going okay, but I'm starting to get close to Jamie, and I realize there's no way I'm going to be able to get this. I'm not going to be able to put a record lap together. So I've got my camera running on our front bumper, and I'm like, I'm going to get some sick video of Jamie. Okay, so I decide I'm going to run a little closer than I probably should to Jamie. Right? So we go through this corner called Patience, which is really like, it's a very, very tight corner. And in Boogie, it's a second gear, like bottom of second gear corner. And so we're coming on a Patience. He's rear wheel drive. I'm all wheel drive. So I'm able to like keep right on his ass. So we're coming into the brake zone after the straightaway. Now, mind you, I'm on, what are we, 17 session old now? RE71 RSs. These things are done. I brake early, like 2 brake markers early, and I brake really early specifically because I didn't want to rear end Jamie. But unfortunately, these tires were not having it. This car wasn't stopping. Thankfully, Jamie saw what was going on as I'm like not slowing down in the way I want to. ABS is working, but it's like locking up, like half locking up. It's doing some weird shit. So I still have control of where I'm going. So I start steering towards the inside of the corner. Long story short, Jamie sees this happening and goes, yeah, I'm just going to abort. And he just drives straight off the end of the straight. Smartest thing he could have done. Now, if Jamie wouldn't have seen me, I still think we would have been okay, but it would have been really gross how I would have had to pull that off. Okay, we would have basically both went into the next chicane area, like next to each other. He would have had to drive around the outside of the corner. I would have drove around the inside. I'd slowed it down enough to where I had control over it. But at this point, he had already driven straight off. Heads up by Jamie. It was Jamie was being smart there, gave us all plenty of room, and he just drove off nice and controlled. It was a really stupid move on my part. I still got to get him that footage because it looked great up until that happened. Don't do dumb things, especially in time attack. It was stupid on my part. I'm putting this out there very publicly because it was very dumb on my part to do this. I really was just trying to have a good time, but that's not worth it. You know, I made a pretty dumb, boneheaded mistake screwing around, and I shouldn't have. If this was, we were going a lot slower and it was HPDE, and, you know, it would have been a little different, but like, you know, that could have been Jamie's fast lap. You know, it was stupid on my part. I apologized to him a bunch. We talked about it. You know, we all do dumb things. But I really don't, I'm mad at myself for that. So that's my giant public apology about that. I don't think it even made it to the stream. Like, nobody knew except Jamie and I. But that Jamie super heads up driving. So,
what do you think caused it? Tires just being really
the tires just were not having it. And I think earlier in the session we would have been okay, but after those tires got hot and they didn't have a chance to totally cool back down again, like, they just weren't having it. The session was also pretty hot. The track was pretty cooked. Like, there was just a lot of variables, you know. And I found out at, you know, Road America that this car on really old tires can do some really stupid shit. So remember when I basically spun it in Road America in Canada Corner? Yeah, there's some great videos of it of me sliding right through Canada Corner. So that it was, yeah. So it was, I should have known better. So feel pretty bad about it. I think no matter what, even if he wouldn't have seen me, we would have been okay. But thankfully he did see me, and there was like basically zero risk because of how he approached it, but not how I approached it. So, so
2 men enter, 2 men leave.
Yep. Heads up driving on his part. So we decided, I mean, that was the first session of the day. I'm like, nah, I'm parking it. I was naughty. No reason for us to go out anymore. That was dumb. So we parked the car. A bunch of other stuff happened during the day. You know, people ran a little faster. It got hot. We also had this insane hailstorm come through. Where Dylan and I, Chris and Romar had showed up just like an hour before, right? Romar, who's the front end guy for 6-Star Motorsports, was going to put his freshly painted GV STI, so I think it's like an 11 STI in the car show. And they just put it over there, and we're sitting in the trailer, and it's starting to rain. Rain's not a big deal, but we start hearing hail hit the top of the trailer. And then it hit me. I'm like, holy shit, Romar just got his damn car painted. And Dylan, like, as I'm saying this, Dylan's like, oh shit, and just starts throwing shipping blankets at me. Okay? So we grab all these shipping blankets, and it is pouring lightning and giant, like, quarter-size hail falling out of the sky at this point. Okay? So we run right out into this shit. We're dive on Romar's car to like cover it up with these shipping blankets. We didn't even know Romar was in the car. Romar's taking a video of us doing this. So we cover his car up and then run away. In the middle of that, I got thunked in the head by one of these things. Like all you can do is laugh, but that hurt. I was like, holy shit, man. Yeah, it felt like a frozen paintball hit me in the head. Like that's what it felt like. So yeah, we ended up saving Romar's car, thankfully. But yeah, that hailstorm was wild. It sounds like nobody's car really got hurt or anything. I couldn't believe it for the size hail that we saw. It was pretty ridiculous. I was thinking Rich Fortner was about to make his buck there. So
they're close to Autobahn. They're just over the border.
Yeah. He'd be like, "Yep, give me a call. We'll get her fixed up. Call the old insurance." Yep. Either way, we got the we were chilling the rest of the day. Saved Romar's car. Everything was pretty good. Okay. Next morning we wake up. It's a pretty damn prime session. Now, this is not Subaru content, but shipbox 90s car content. And this is, I have never been so hyped about a non-Subaru doing something amazing than what I'm about to talk about. Earlier in the weekend, we all know Autobahn likes to bring out a particular type of person. I've heard that this guy is super cool, so I've got nothing against him. But, you know, people with a lot of money like to come to a Gridlife events at Autobahn with their super fancy race cars. And lay down lap times, usually in unlimited. Okay. And they, you know, it's just a thing they do. Okay. And this guy had already done it with a Porsche, like a cup car, and he had the unlimited rear wheel drive record. He came with a Lambo this time, which was all wheel drive, and set the all wheel drive record at like a 21 something. So he blew the old record out of the water by like a second and a half or something. It was huge. Everybody's like, there's no way anybody's ever going to catch that. Right. Enter my homeboy, Jimmy Rauch. Okay. This guy drives a EK hatch Civic. So like Honda a 96 Civic to 99 Civic hatchback. All right. And still front wheel drive. All right. No traction control and no ABS in this thing. It's K-swapped.
Wow.
And if you look at this car, it is as basic as it gets. All right. Old boy was not having it. He goes out there and lays down a 20 flat, breaks that record by a full second. And we lost our shit. Dude, save the pride of Gridlife. So this one guy owns two records, okay? Rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive, both with crazy exotic cars. The overall record is held by Jimmy Rauch and a freaking 97 front-wheel drive shitbox. So excited for this. Dude, we all lose our minds. You can see Dylan and I in his lap video. It comes in at the end. Like in his, he just keeps this little piece of the video. And Dylan and I are both doing the, we're not worthy. Oh my God, dude. We carried him to the podium. The guy didn't even show up for podium sprint. You know, and to me, I think that's kind of lame. You didn't even show up for podium sprint. You know, but dude, yeah, we carried him to the podium. Like Jimmy saved the pride of Gridlife. I'm hyped. Dude, so hyped. We've parked next to him a couple times this year. He is such a cool guy, but like seeing him do that, dude, everybody was hyped. James Houghton was hyped. The frickin' podcast was, or the live stream was hyped. Anybody who knew what happened was like screaming, running around like a bunch of idiots. It was, dude, we lost our shit. It was so much fun. So yeah, Jimmy is out there repping 90 shit boxes with us, and us 90 shit box bros have to stick together. So
no traction control and no ABS.
No
Man,
traction,
how did we sit down with balls that big?
Literally a freaking tin can, dude.
Wow.
It's so sick, dude. Jimmy, what a guy. If you get a chance, definitely look him up. That was a really, really sick lap. I think he's got it up on YouTube. It's really good. So podium sprint. We're qualified first. Our nearest competition actually had us a little bit worried, but he didn't have another set of tires ready to go for podium sprint, so we weren't that worried. That was that Speed Academy, I think, just had him on. He had this whole bunch of carbon pieces on this K-swapped Miata with a BMW not a DCT, a BMW 8HP auto behind it. It's a pretty sick build. The car is really, really impressive. He had us a little worried. And then behind him was Cal and Jamie were like right on top of each other, and then there was a Corvette behind that. Long story short, we had our brand new tires, and I got to be real, we weren't freaking out all that much. The idea was to go out there and just run a really competent lap that we knew we didn't have to worry about. We did the same thing like we did at Road America, where we stuck, this time we used Dylan, stuck Dylan way out of the back 40. He let me know where he was with a big piece of neon poster board. And then on the out lap, so I ran my hot lap, and we ended up, I'll talk about the lap in a second. And then the idea was I was going to run a cool down, and then he'd let me know by picking the poster board up again if I needed to run one more lap. If it was close, if there was any worry whatsoever, tell me to go run another lap, pick the poster board up again. But we didn't have to run an extra lap, so I ran 2 cool down laps, and it was no big deal. The lap, car felt great. New tires felt awesome. I can't stress this enough. Shaving the tires worked. It was significantly more direct. This is one thing I will say. RE71, older RE71 RSs feel really good, but they don't have the same amount of lateral grip. This was like having both. It was fantastic. I could tell right what the front tires were doing. It was awesome, but the track was really hot. Nobody went faster. To give you a concept, Jimmy Rauch ran, I think, 2 seconds slower. Okay, so like nobody was running quicker in this. So the car felt great. I put in a super competent lap, cleaned up some of the stuff I was worried about. I went a little slow in the last section. Honestly, just out of like preservation of making sure we made it through and didn't fall off the track. And, you know, you go 4 off in podium sprint, you're DQ'd. So like you're instant 5th place. And that would have basically made our whole purpose of being there for nothing. That would have been a whole pile of wasted money. It would have been really a bad situation all the way around. So I just wanted to make sure we got this lap in there and all was good. So either way, we ended up running a 125.8, which 860, and the overall record is a 125.816. We missed it by a few fucking hundredths. I am pissed. I am so pissed. If I would have did anything different, we would have got it. I mean, anything. It's so I keep looking at my lap. I keep looking at my lap. Yeah, we still won and sold the championship up.
Yeah,
but
put it in perspective here.
I really, really wanted that overall record. That still, because it was so close. We weren't like a full second off, or even a half second off, or even a couple of tenths. We were a couple of hundredths. All right, that's less than a sneeze. So. Yeah. That's nothing. Okay. It was nothing. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I hope we can put some, honestly, what it does is it really, I want to go back next year specifically to get the overall record. And I gotta be real. We had a really, really good time doing go-karts the second night too. So like, want to do some go-karts. Go-karts there is,
go back to the karting.
You need to come out just to do some karting. You could have tried to come get your money back, dude.
I'm going to get it back.
But, all right. Seriously.
So I'm curious, since you had not been at that track for quite some time, what kind of prep did you do? Did you just pretty much watch a lot of YouTube onboards, since there is no sim track for that?
I don't want to be that guy. I know that track so fucking well. I've done like a million laps there that I needed one session to remember where the hell I was going.
Yep.
I know all that track. There's only one line. Okay. And there's some like little weird nuances with, like how to take patience and things like that, that I already knew. I knew for the most part, what curbing to avoid. I got to be real, like the car handled significantly better than last time I was there. So I had a problem with hitting one curb that I knew I shouldn't hit, but it was because the car was just better. So I needed to go and like drive a little more, and I ended up redoing a little bit, but like for the most part, I knew my way around there. We lived pretty close to it. So like, I didn't do any real prep other than just beat the shit out of. I was more worried about getting myself up to B class licensing and iRacing more than anything. So I did a ton of that. So, so yeah, I mean, what was really cool though is before this weekend, one of my like side quest goals was I wanted to know what Tarzan Yamada ran back when in the Redline days, when they ran there with the Crawford car. And that was at Autobahn, because they came to Autobahn. Yeah, this was the first time I ever saw Late Break and Jimmy drive too. He ran in that event.
Wow.
I met Tarzan Yamada there, took pictures with him, all sorts of shit. The Cusco Impreza, the Cusco Tome Impreza was there too, but something was wrong with it, so they didn't turn any laps. But Tarzan was driving the Crawford car, and I wanted to know, like, that it's kind of just wild how Time Attack has progressed, even though that was back when, like, that was a shop-built car in Unlimited with the best tires available. That was all the best stuff that was available, okay? Now, Unlimited has come a long ways, all right? So, he ran it was like a high 26, okay? So, in the very first session, we ended up beating his record, which is wild. And we're in street mod on a 200 treadwear tire. Now, I want to preface this, okay? They could have built whatever they wanted then, but they weren't. If you look at a current street mod car versus an Unlimited car in 2008, I think is when they ran that, right in that time period, they look the same. Street mod now looks like Unlimited then, okay? Tire technology has come a long ways. Hoosiers haven't changed that much, but Tire Tech just overall has came a long ways. Our understanding of these cars, our understanding of aero has come a long ways, especially on a Time Attack car. I guarantee what we have now is more effective aero than what they were running, even though they were in Unlimited, okay? Our ECU technology has come a long way. Like, tuning has come a long way. I bet you they were running more power, but I bet you we weighed about the same. So long story short, I thought that was super cool. We managed to pull that off. You know what I mean? It shows how far Time Attack has progressed. And I, not gonna lie, it's really cool when you got some of these people you really respect. James Houghton, Tony Barber hit me up today. Just talking about how much further my driving has come. The car is way better, but my driving has also gotten better because I put a lot of work into that. I made that a massive part of something of my improvement since 22. And I've just compounded it as much as I possibly can since 22. But a lot of people think the sequential, like the car's faster on the sequential due to like it's shifting really fast or whatever. That's not really what it has done for me. What it has done for me from a driving standpoint is it's pulled a bunch of shit off of my plate. Okay, upshifting, I don't got to think about the clutch anymore. Downshifting, I don't have to think about rev matching. I don't have to make sure I'm hitting the gate correctly. I don't have to heel toe like this perfectly to make sure it doesn't upset the car. When things are working, it just works. So yeah, I got to take my hand off the wheel and pull a thing. It's not quite as good as these guys with the flappy pedals, but it's taking a lot off the plate. In that sense, and it's allowed me to think about how am I coming off the brakes? how much steering angle am I using? Like I'm more in control of what's going on with my front tires. I'm like listening to the car more. It has taken so much off of my plate that it allows me to do more with that. And I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. It is a massive deal. An absolutely massive deal. Like I have a ton of respect for guys like Jamie who are out there still thrashing with, 3 pedals. But
Yeah.
and
We did it for a long time too.
We did it for a long time. In fact, at Road America during Podium Sprint, we had an issue with the load sensor in the shifter where I had to revert back to using the third pedal again. I had to clutch everything. So it isn't that I can't do it. It's just because it has kind of pulled that off my plate a little bit. It has allowed me to like open up quite a bit more. And it's super nice. We're going to see what the trans looks like when we pull it apart at the end of the year. Are we going to have to replace any dogs, anything like that? But it still feels good. And a lot of that, getting this to work right, normally is absolute hell. Okay. Normally it's absolute hell, but Graham nailed it. Not only did he nail it on his own car, but then he could take that logic and apply it to ours. So again, if you guys haven't listened to the episode of, how much Graham and I have influenced each other's development of each other's cars, it's like a yin yang. I don't remember what we called it, but it's really good. Like, go listen to that because it is unreal how much we have both influenced each other on the development of our cars. How much his car is in mine and my car is in his, but him being able to mess around with his own car and then go, okay, this works, and then apply it to Boogie, knowing that it's already good logic, is huge. That's stuff that takes some teams years to figure out. And we had it in one event.
Another thing I was thinking about too is even with the sequential, you're probably still changing your braking points and your acceleration points too for most tracks, right? They're not the same as when you're on manual gated transmission.
No, they're about the same.
Are they? Okay.
Oh yeah, but the difference is like when you're trying to heel toe coming in, okay, it's harder to put steady pressure while you're heel toeing, okay, and then leaving. Wait, there's just chaos happening when all this is happening. You're trying to get the clutch right, and coming off the brakes is what I was screwing up more than anything. So my brake release, I wasn't trailing off the brakes correctly coming into corners, so I wasn't getting as much turn in from that. So it was asking a ton from my front tires that when that was gone, it was gone. So what would happen is I'd turn in really hard. I'd use a bunch of steering angle. Then the car would rotate, and then I'd use the gas pedal to rotate the car. And like, it looks really cool, but it's not fast. And if you look at this lap we did of Autobahn, like, it's pretty tidy. And the car handles significantly better than it used to. I can't wait till I spread the pedals apart a little bit, and then I can start driving it like I'm on iRacing and using my left foot to brake. That's going to change everything, because then I'm going to be able to, really have a finer control over my brake release. Getting on the gas, having that balance will always be right there. I'm really excited about that. That's a next season thing.
I was going to say, would you try to do that before pit race to just, before the season?
Maybe. So I'll get into what we're thinking about doing for pit race. So either way, came off the track. We were hyped. That was championship. So we have 4 wins, 4 records. It's 104 points. There's no mathematical possible way for anybody to win now. Personally, and I brought this up on another podcast, but I'm going to bring it up here. I think with the amount of events that our series has now, 4 events isn't technically enough for a championship. I think they need to make it at least 5. And my reasoning for that is it's what's happening right now is a whole ton of shenanigans of people trying to avoid people to go to certain events where they don't think somebody else is going to be there to maybe score easy wins. And there is scenarios that exist right now where somebody could completely not see somebody else and win the championship. And they could both win out. And I don't like that. That doesn't sit well with me. I think it needs to be 5. Like you're really seeing it in Club TR right now. There's people making all the Club TR. Jeremy Bailey is in the mix of this crazy Club TR points race right now, and it got blown wide open because Peter Granberg fell off the track during podium sprint and ended up knocking himself to 5th. So it was like he never even went. And the points just, it's anybody's game at this point. Okay. So what you're having right now is it's like next week is Laguna, and you have a bunch of people frantically trying to buy Laguna tickets and destroying their budgets for the next 3 years to try to make their way to Laguna in a prayer that these other guys who are frantically trying to buy Laguna tickets don't go. And I don't like that, but I also don't like the fact that I think that's almost good for business on Gridlife's point because it's forcing people to have to go to Laguna. But if you just made it so there was 5, people would do it anyway. It's just, it's crazy what people are trying to do. In the top 5 of Club TR, they're all separated by like 5 points. So like it's anybody's fucking game right now. And it's crazy. It's crazy. And I feel like I'm excited as a fan, but I've been on the other side of this, and I'm really bummed for some of these guys who are trying to make this happen. When they don't have the PTO or the time off or whatever, it's still grassroots. And an unplanned trip to California is insane. Yeah. No matter what, it's going to be a bloodbath, an absolute bloodbath at Pit Race with Club TR. A couple other things are going down too. So in Track Mod, there's Alan Patton has 103 points. He won Track Mod in 4 events, but one of them, because Track Mod is not old Track Modified, it's now called Track Modern. They changed the rules set. Technically, the rules don't apply, or the old records don't apply. And we hadn't been to Road Atlanta since that happened. Okay, so the rules as it sit right now is you have to beat a record. You can't just set a record. There has to be an existing record for you to beat. So he didn't get that extra point for the record. Okay, so what's happening right now is Jackie in Track Mod, there is an opening for him to win 4 events and record in a row, even though Alan had already basically had annihilated him at every track they have went to. Okay, for Jackie to still win the championship because they had already pulled Alan's car apart to try to put they're making plans for next year, which is Alan's on at their team and all of them. That's their fault for not looking at it this way. But Jackie might win a championship, even though every time him and Alan went up against each other, it wasn't even close. That's not the fastest car or the fastest driver winning. And like, that bugs me. And I don't want to think anybody think that I think Jackie's trying to pull some shit. He's not. Okay. It's just how the cookie's crumbling right now.
He's playing it smart. He's using all of his resources.
But Jackie didn't even go out of his way to do this. It isn't like Jackie's trying to.
Oh.
Jackie's not. It's Jackie was just planning on going to these events. And why wouldn't Jackie try to win if he was there? You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, so in all reality, this is actually on Alan for not making sure this was sewn up. Okay. But they're like, Jackie doesn't even feel good about it.
Okay.
You know, how shitty but that doesn't mean Jackie should go to these events and not try to win.
Sure.
So,
okay, so it's scheduling. It's just how the rules are written. Accident or not. Okay.
Either way, pit race. So there was a scenario where if we wouldn't have won, but we won and didn't get the record or something, that there was a scenario where it actually would have behooved us to not compete at pit race. Okay, because if for some reason there would have been a heads up loss, we could have lost.
the tiebreaker because you were heads up against the same person.
Yep.
He would have put you
We
below them.
did not
Okay.
want to open ourselves up for that, but thankfully we got the record and we won. We don't got to worry about it. There's no mathematical possible way for anybody else to win anymore. So we get to go to pit race and have a good time, which is great because we went to pit race last year and had a great time because we didn't have a hope in hell and anything. We're excited about going to pit race and fucking around. It sounds like half of IAG is coming, which is super cool.
Oh, good.
Yep.
About damn time.
Bunch of people from the back are coming. Bunch of the engineering departments coming. Just people in general that work at IAG are going to come out and hang out and see what this whole thing's about. And I'm really excited about that.
Good.
Forklift
Should
is
be.
coming. And I mean, it's a party of forklifts there. So like forklifts coming out, everybody's coming out. We're going to have a great time.
Nice.
So we're going to go out there. We're going to rip laps. We'll have Dolly the BRZ there. The plan is to be doing, I want to take a bunch of these people on drift taxi rides so I can go chase drift cars in Boogie, so we're going to get the seat in there real good and we're going to go
That's
rip.
real cool.
There's some stuff
Coolest
that
thing you can do.
we want to do some testing on some things because this is kind of a free event to us at this point. So it's a great time to test. We're going to put the electronic wastegate in so we can finally
Nice.
mess with that,
Good.
which this track
Finally.
should be huge for that because it's a ton of partial throttle. So it's going to help a ton with that.
Is
Um,
Graham going to pit race?
I don't know. He should. It's going to be a great time.
Okay.
Even if he just comes to hang out, if he doesn't bring a car and he just comes and hangs out, we'll find a way to get him in Dolly. Long story short, I think we're just going to have a really good time. Now there's talk of maybe us bringing out the IAG BRZ also. We have some new and interesting product that we want to test that I can't really talk about too much, but I can tell you that it's some exciting things that we might be
Better be a
testing on
damn oil
both.
fan.
What I
You
can't
better
tell
be an
you
oil fan.
is we're going to be testing it on not only FA20 but the FA24. If everything goes
Okay.
right, we should have it on the FA20 also, which is exciting.
Good.
Good
Good.
stuff. Everybody's having it. So Dolly will get one. It's going to be great. Okay. We're all going to have a really good time. Should be really chill. So if you get a chance, you want to go to pit race, come hang out. It's dirt cheap to get in. It's an awesome place to spectate. The racing's a ton of fun to watch, like GLTC and everything else. Time Attack's really cool there. It will be live casted. Like everything about this is going to be a really good time. So again, really, really excited, really hyped about this. We get to go there and we just get to screw around. Now, who doesn't get to go there and just screw around is Jeremy Bailey. It's going to be a war zone. All of Club TR's got to be super serious. All of Track Mod's got to be super serious. And honestly, the rest of Street Mod has got to be super serious. The race is on for second and third, and it is going to be spicy. Ryan Matthews has the advantage of having a couple of wins, but he has the disadvantage of having some fairly poor showings at a couple of other events that just didn't work out in his way. So Ryan Matthews is fairly close to locked into second, but it is not a foregone conclusion by a long shot. Depending on what happens at Laguna and what happens at pit race, it could blow wide open. So there's a lot still happening. The points are still there. It should be a really good time. So if you get a chance, go to pit race. I was really bummed I was in Chicago though, and I didn't even get to hang out with Warranty.
I know you were so business trying to steal a championship that, well, I knew this from when I first met you. It's pirate rules, man. When the pirate rules are in effect, somebody breaks down, you just leave them on the side of the road. So I had a feeling you were busy.
And honestly, this was the most chill weekend we had in so long. Like we would have ended up just driving go-karts.
Yeah.
We
I'm
hung
sad
out with
about
Jeremy
that. It was
Boys
a
the
great
whole
time.
weekend, drove go-karts. Like we basically didn't do anything Saturday.
Yeah, I was busy though, so that's what it is.
We did have a last minute thing. I forgot about that we just before podium sprint we realized there was a hole in our exhaust. We were worried about it melting
Ooh.
shit, so we had to go. We found some BMW dudes who had a welder, and we We tacked it up real quick, and that was the whole drama. That was that big drama.
Wow.
Yep. Melted some ball joints.
Yeah.
Had a hole in the exhaust.
Par for the course now. You don't freak out when things get melted.
Nope.
Or
Nah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's called Tuesday.
go to AutoZone to fix it. Yeah. It's race car things.
So
Cool, man. Yeah, I'm happy for you. That was hard fought and well deserved. Second championship in 3 years. And
Yep.
that's after coming out of a fire. So, yeah, well done.
So you guys now have to refer to me as the 2-time, and I expect you to talk to me with a little more respect in your voice. Okay. you need to refer to Dylan the same way. If you're talking to Dylan, just make sure you call him sir now. Okay.
Mr. the 2-time.
Mr. the 2-time sir.
I will.
Yeah. You should.
He
Mr. the
rates it,
2-time
you rate it. So.
What I'm really excited about, one of my favorite things that I got to do in 23 is I went to PRI, and they give you the trophies on the floor of PRI, which is amazing. Okay. And then you're walking around PRI, this is the industry and a bunch of dudes who race with a championship trophy. And everybody is shaking your hand and like, dude, that's so awesome. Great job. People you don't even know. You're walking up to all your sponsors with this trophy and they're hyped, taking pictures with it. Dude, it is so great. And Dylan didn't get to go in 23 for, there's a heap of reasons.
He missed out. That was such a great time.
100% is going for this one.
Yep.
I just hyped for him to have that experience. It's so good. It's so good. And it is, I'm so pumped. Like, honestly, I'm more hyped for Dylan to have that experience than even winning the damn championship, is him having that experience. So good.
Yeah. That reminds me, I was going to get a hotel for everybody for PRI. Getting it done early means we can get a hotel that's not a million miles away from the convention center.
Yeah, why don't we? Real talk. We should get on that like nowish.
Yeah, I've been getting the emails for a while, but I know you were busy.
Let's figure it out right now.
Yeah, I could throw down, and then that's it. I want to get it in the convention center, the hotel that's connected.
That would be cool.
If at all possible.
If that's possible, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm sure Bailey is down to party too. He's always one of our roommates. And we'll get Dylan figured out, whatever. But if you want to start poking at that would be cool.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I'll look at it this weekend. Bailey can't come. Oh, Bailey, you can't come? Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I think he probably can't come due to all the shenanigans he has pulled with PTO trying to stay in this championship. All his vacation is burned. What if you left Friday night and showed up Saturday, Bales? And you just run around Sunday, do a little bit. I mean, it's a hell of a drive, but like you could fly, dude. Fly. We'll come get you.
I can pick you up. That's easy drive to the airport. That's close.
Oh, yeah, we'll come get you.
20 minutes.
Get some cheap plane tickets. Come on up, dude.
Yep.
Hell, not only that. Yeah, dude, do that, and then worst case scenario, get a one-way, and I mean, hell, if I got to drive you home, we'll come up with something about getting you home, or we'll have Kim meet us at our place.
Yeah.
Then you just drive back, dude. Then you don't even got to worry about flying back.
Yep.
Kim can come hang out with Megan that weekend, or for the night, and you guys just drive back when we get there.
Yeah. I'm glad I brought it up now because every time it's like all racing, right? You
fly back too.
Things going on, so we just get it done at the last second.
Dude, you absolutely could fly up. We could take care of that. And if you manage to get an extra day off somehow, we'll grab you Friday morning or something, dude. Don't even we will figure it out. Fly up if you can.
Cool. Yeah.
When is it?
I love seeing you guys.
We'll figure it out
at PRI.
Yeah, dude, PRI is so much. It's so fun. We have such a good time at PRI. Other than that, trying to think of what else I want to talk about. I think that's about it though. Tied that ship up.
After pit race.
Oh, yeah. After pit race. All right. Not sure how much of this we can talk about, but there is a particular YouTube channel with two guys with the same name that tend to do a lot of car-oriented things. We may or may not be participating. in one of their little test things. That is us and Randy. So it would be Boogie and Randy. We'll see. Still a lot up in the air, but I think it would be pretty exciting. You know, this is one of those, you know, we got a kind of a small group that listens to this. You know, we're at near the end. These are the little bennies you get for listening to the whole show. But I'm pretty hyped about it. If we make it, I gotta be real. I'm actually more hyped about seeing Randy rip on that thing. And Randy's car tear ass around there. I hope that works out. I think Randy's car is going to do some work. And Randy's car is more relatable than Boogie is at that point to a lot of people. And I'm kind of excited to see where that lands. And then maybe we get to compare what happens when you lose your effing mind with a car. This should be fun. So yeah, hopefully we get, I'm hyped about PRI. I know I've already said that, but very hyped. And yeah, I don't think,
December through the 13th.
Yes, December 11 to 13, Indianapolis, Indiana.
There you go.
The pinnacle of the motorsports universe.
Ish.
Ish.
Randy, what class are you in iRacing? What license do you have? Are you up to B yet?
I think I'm in A in road course and
look at you playing. You should come do some GT3 with us. Graham, Dylan, and I murdered ourselves over the past month to make sure our safety rating was where it needed to be to speed run up to getting to B. And the new season just started, so we got promoted. And GT3 is a lot of fun.
Oh yeah,
they're significantly better cars. Like it's definitely a race car, and it takes a lot more skill to drive, but it's also really good. You know,
which cars have you tried so far?
Of that group, I have tried the Acura, the Porsche, the Corvette, the Aston, and the Ferrari. And of all of them, I like the Ferrari the most, but I think I'm going to buy the Lambo tonight. Nice. So I have a problem because all the cars I just stated, you add that up, that's almost $100. I'm stupid. If I can make a suggestion to anybody, if they're first trying it, the Acura is super easy to drive. So, yeah, don't start with a Vet. It'll try to kill you. It will absolutely try to kill you. It's got real bad corner entry issues. Yes, this does make more sense than Call of Duty skins, though. I totally agree, Jeremy. Which I've spent oh my God, I don't even want to think about how much money I put into Call of Duty skins, and I have completely walked away from Call of Duty because I'm so mad at that company. Still play a lot of Marvel Rivals, but I cannot play Call of Duty anymore. Won't do it. I'm going to play some Battlefield, though. If anybody's listening to this, and maybe we'll fire something up on the IAG Discord for gaming. But we're going to have a whole bunch of Battlefield going on. So if you guys want to play Battlefield, I'm sure we can all get together and play some Battlefield. When that drops, we're all going to be playing it. Now? What's that?
Is that shared platform online now?
Yes. Yep. Nice. So the new one's going to be, we played the beta of the new one, and it's a lot of fun. So maybe on the IAG Discord, we can do that. That should be a really good time. But I don't know if anybody's got any questions. Got a few seconds left. This is going to be Forklift at Pit Race. Yep. Partying down. Yes. I'd love to have Forklift come to PRI too. I think it'd be a really good time. He would, really, I think Forklift has got the right vibe for Gridlife. He's only made one event this year, which sucks because I think he would have loved the rest of them. Yup. If you guys have ever seen Shorzy, you gotta understand. Like, watch Shorzy and you'll understand. I think that's season 2 of Shorzy is what they're referring to there. So either way, yeah, that's it, man. I think we're gonna call it. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun, and we will see you guys next time.